Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness. And if you are new, welcome. Normally on my channel, I typically stick to topics of music, film, literature. However, in light of recent events, I unfortunately find it necessary to cover some aspects of politics, in particular United States politics and changes that were made, which are going to be affecting myself as well as a multitude of other disabled individuals. As many of you are aware, I am disabled. However, a vast majority are not. And I've been disabled since the age of 4. And I've been the recipient of Social Security disability off and on throughout the years. I say throughout the years because when I was working, obviously I was not receiving Social Security disability. And I will get to my curriculum vitae here momentarily and go through that with you. But before I get to that, I want to actually cover the reason why I'm making this video specifically. Uh, Last week, I received a correspondence from the County Assistance Office of Luzerne County indicating that my food stamp amount would be going from roughly 45 $46 down to 25 or so dollars a month. So roughly a $20 cut. And let me just illustrate that 40 some odd dollars that I was getting barely covered 2 weeks worth of groceries. And with the prices in continuing to go up, it doesn't cover much at all. And I try to live a healthy life. And if, as many of you are aware, to buy healthier foods, you have to pay more. And it doesn't really go that far. So I thought to myself, all right, well, that does happen. I understand, the cut, and life goes on. But yesterday, on February 3rd, 2025, I received a letter from the Social Security Administration stating that my Medicare Part B was no longer going to be covered by the state of Pennsylvania and would therefore be factored into my Social Security amount and deducted from my monthly amount itself. Now, at the current time, up until this point, this year at least, I've received $1,550 some odd dollars, and that was for January and February um, due to the cost of living increase. And that was enough to cover my mortgage, my water, my electric, my gas, and expenses. And by expenses, I mean food to actually eat as well, because that $46 in food stamps really wasn't going as far as I think people think it would. So I would end up spending roughly $200 to $300 extra on food alone. Factor in on top of that cleaning supplies for my home, accoutrements that are necessary, such as toilet paper, paper towels, and any other hygiene products I use. the prices keep going up, and the amount of things that we use on a monthly basis is a constant, and that we have to replenish is a constant. So all of this is adding up. And yesterday, as stated, I received a letter saying that that $1,550 some odd dollars would be going down to $1,330 a month as of March 3rd. And that is to account for my Medicare Part B being put into the Social Security amount. And something you might think, well, that's not really a big deal. But the numbers are going to have me underwater. Also, I do wear clothes. And to buy new clothes, or clothes at all for that matter, costs money. To buy anything that we need costs money. And these executive orders, this slew of executive orders that wasn't supposed to affect people with Social Security or Social Security disability, is ultimately affecting us, as is indicated here. It's only February 4th as I'm making this video, and I'm already getting anxiety about how I'm going to manage next month, how I'm going to pay my bills next month, on top of not only my bills, but the household necessities. How? And I don't really think that that's being even thought about. In fact, if it were being thought about, this wouldn't be occurring. I wouldn't be making this video. But unfortunately, it's necessary to do so. If nothing else, to raise awareness and to get people talking and to get people sharing this. Because people need to know what's going on. And it has to stop. Or else the world itself is going to stop. The country itself is going to stop. Whoever thought America was great, it hasn't been great in my lifetime. And I am 53. I'm 53 years old. I wish I was 52 again. I wish I was 50 again. I'm 53 years old. And in that 53 years, I have not seen America ever be great. There's no great utopia that ends at the end of the rainbow, that can be found at the end of the rainbow. There is no magical land that is going to be a collective person's individual's vision of greatness, because each individual has a different view of what greatness is and what their concept of greatness is. That being stated, I don't see anything as being great right now. In fact, I see it being worse than ever. I was getting by. I was doing okay. And yes, you might put in the comments, but there are programs to help you. And yes, I'm on those programs. And even on those programs, they cost money as well. And even with the amounts I pay in those assisted programs, they still aren't helping the long term in terms of the amounts, or even the short term for that matter. Now, as stated, my curriculum vitae consists of the following. I I'll go chronologically as not to confuse you, the viewer, depending on your knowledge in this area. I am a graduate of high school, of Wyoming Valley West High School in Pennsylvania, Plymouth, Pennsylvania. I'm a graduate of Wilkes University with a sociology degree, a bachelor's degree, as well as a minor in journalism. I am also a graduate of the University of Scranton with a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. And following the obtaining of that degree, I worked in private practice part-time, counseling individuals, and I also volunteered in a psych department of a local rehabilitation center for a year. I worked after that for the county in terms of the mental health population for 5 years. I then worked in private practice once again before switching to the private sector and basically debunking workers' compensation claims that were not legitimate. And then after that, I worked for the state. So I know how the system works. I know how the numbers work and how at the end of the day, the numbers are the bottom line, not the individual. And at the end of the day, there are no individuals. We're all boiled down to numbers. And that's all that is ever looked at on the grand scheme of things in terms of government. It's not people, it's not people's interests or what's in their best interests. At this point in time in the United States of America, it is numbers that are the bottom line at the end of the day itself. A few years ago, I attempted to get a new scooter to use for my disability. I've been using motorized scooters since I was 12 years old. And I've been using the same company since I was 12 years old. And when I went for my evaluation to get that scooter, I was told that that brand was no longer being covered by my insurance at that point in time. And I was baffled. I thought, how is this possible? It was always covered. However, changes were being made, and I was not aware of those changes. The company did work with me and was kind enough to work with me in terms of obtaining a refurbished model, something that they typically do not do at all, but they were impressed by my loyalty to their company. But that was a one-time occurrence. And I currently have a fundraiser going to both continue the ongoing refurbishing of my existing scooter as well as to get a new scooter, because this scooter I'm currently using is from 2019 and we are now in 2025. And if you're interested, that fundraiser is linked below in the description, 2 sections, directly below the title, as well as in a separate section below the information pertaining to this video. I digress, however. The point is, the executive orders that were issued regarding Social Security disability not changing, not being altered, not being affected. It wasn't an outright lie, but at the same time it was. Because although The amounts themselves were not affected, and the benefits of those amounts were not affected. The benefits related to those amounts in terms of insurance were affected. And I am panicking now, thinking about how I'm going to manage March through the end of the year of 2025, December. How I'm going to manage from month to month with my mortgage, my necessities in life, such as food, on 20 some odd dollars a month. Toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning products, clothes. These are things that we all need. Not to mention water, gas, electric, my sewage authority, something I pay for. There is a slew of items each month that I deduct and that I calculate, and at the end there isn't anything left. So I will be theoretically in the negative from March to whenever this ends. And the question is, will this end? And can anyone make this end? Can anyone stop the insanity that is killing disabled people? Because I will have to choose whether to pay my gas, electric, my water, or whether to eat, whether to get clothes to wear, or whether to have things on hand for general hygiene. These are things that we should not be forced to choose. These are things that we should, and I have, taken care of myself month to month. But now, that unfortunately is not just being threatened, it is a fact of life, as of the letter I received yesterday from the Social Security Administration. So, I ask you all, share this video, comment below. If there is a program that can help people that are in need of help, I guarantee you I'm already enrolled in that program and getting the help I need, but it's still not enough. Not with the cut that was recently shared with me as of yesterday via the correspondence from the Social Security Administration. This is Rob with Media Awareness. If you're curious about what my channel has to offer, click the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload something new. I don't make a point of getting political. I rarely, if ever, share my political beliefs, as I don't believe they are anyone's business other than my own. And I'm not saying that anyone is right or wrong in this case. What I'm saying, however, is that the recent executive orders that were handed down in terms of Social Security specifically were not legitimately explained, and they were not what they were intended. Otherwise, nothing would be affected. Everything would be the same. And I wouldn't have to sit here on February 4th and worry about how I'm going to manage on March 3rd. That's a month from now. And I already suffer from anxiety, depression, and PTSD related to my work experience as well as my personal life combined. I stopped working professionally in 2011 as a counselor, and although I was recommended for a federal job as an advocate, I turned it down. I had enough of numbers, facts, and figures, and I wanted to hone my skills as an author. That takes time, given that I never really focused on it the way I should have and the way I could have. So that's something I've been doing for about the past 10 years or so. But even with that stated, I'm still working on that goal. And that goal is being hampered by these bouts of anxiety and depression, along with the PTSD. And they're all as a result of different things over the years, whether they be work related, personal in nature, what have you. But I have never felt the way I do today. I've never felt this tremendous pit of anxiety enveloping all that I am. And I just hope that when March comes, I can somehow make it. But at this point in time, it doesn't look like I'm going to. With all of that stated, like I said, if you are watching this and you have some position of authority or know of someone who has a position of authority that can make a legitimate difference, pass it along. Or if you are a person such as that, a person that is watching this who has that authority, make the differences necessary to make life for people like myself with disabilities and or people in general who are in the system and have been in the system, to make their lives better, not worse. I will see you all soon. I hope you all, in light of what's occurring, have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.